What a cracking spot, eh? Camping spots don't get much better than this, I can tell you. On the Glenelg River, Western Victoria. Just about to start packing up. This is my 2021 Ford Ranger. I thought I'd have a bit of a run through of my setup. I like keep it simple, stupid, KISS when it comes to my camping setups. I like versatility and simplicity. Easy to set up, pack up, and easy to, get out at home and pack away when you get home. So simplicity I like, you know. So what we got here is a 2021 Ranger, 4x4 obviously, with a fair bit of ARB gear, ARB front bar, ARB rear bar, canopy, and the aluminium base rack. So very good setup. Love the ARB gear. It's expensive, but it's very good quality stuff. And then from there, the car it's just got heavier duty shockers and airbags in the rear for when I'm carrying the adventure bike on the drawbar. And just when I'm carrying a bit of extra load in the back of the ute as well too, just to support the suspension, because the suspension's stock, and it's not sort of like designed to carry the loads that I carry, being a builder. So law and physics first and foremost. One of the things for me is I like the car to handle well and handle the way it was designed. So as soon as you put lift kits in, it doesn't give you more ground clearance, just lifts the body. Remember that. Doesn't give you more ground clearance, just lifts the body. A lot of people love it. If you're doing serious forward driving, yep, understand you want to do that and keep the body up away from the damage and when you go into ruts and all that sort of stuff, but it does affect the handling. I don't like the way they start to handle when you put the 2-inch lifts under them and 3-inch lifts and 4-inch lifts. Don't like it at all. Bodies aren't the bodies and the vehicles in general aren't designed for that. The second thing is another the law in physics. If you end up putting a lift kit and then putting weight up on top, a lot of people now are putting basically quite thick rooftop tents and a 270-degree awning. A lot of weight up high. It's a basic physics. If you put that weight up on the top of your vehicle, it's got twice as much leverage. If you're going to load a vehicle, you always put it down low and in front of the axle if possible, so all the heavy weight in front of the axle. So when you get that lift kit, you get that 270-degree awning and that rooftop tent, you've got a car that handles like a bucket of the proverbial stuff. They really starts to affect your handling, and you see the guys getting tossed around in the bush because there's so much leverage up on top with your high suspension and then the rooftop tent and the 270 awning, or even a couple of different awnings or roof racks and bits and pieces on top. Not ideal. So there's the first law of physics. Second law of physics with four-wheel drive, as I say, keep your load over the axle and don't reduce your cantilever as much as you can. Obviously these Fords come with a certain cantilever, but there's a lot of guys building custom trays now and they're sticking their trays right out here, extending their drawbars. Again, that weight behind the axle has got a lot of leverage, and the suspension has to be firmed up to be that strong to handle that cantilever, that you end up with a car again that handles pretty bloody awful. The insurance companies are really having a hard look at why there's so many rollovers, and of course it's pretty straightforward when you ask me why there's so many rollovers now. But anyway, mine's stock and it drives and handles beautiful. It's very comfortable to drive, and it's one of my compliments with the Ford Ranger off the showroom form, that they're pretty good. They drive very well. They've got their problems, don't get me wrong, nothing's perfect, but there you go. So the ARB rack on top is good. I can chuck my kayak up there, I can chuck loads of timber up there, ladders, all that sort of stuff, so that's nice and versatile. You can see the kayak just straps on there really nice, and matching colours too. It was important that I got matching colours with my kayak. No, not really. That'd be a bit OCD, wouldn't it? So as I say, 21 Ranger, what I do to that, apart from rear bars, front bars, shockers and airbags, I've just put some drawers in the back. These are rough country drawers. Again, ARB make really nice drawers, but they're literally 4 times the price. I'll give these ones a try. Not sure if I'm going back to these ones. These drawers are good. They work well. They're a little bit noisy, but the actual hold mechanism is just a dent in the rail, so if you're on a bit of a hill they won't actually hold open, which is annoying. And this one, the latch has given up on it. The boys wrecked the latch on them when they borrowed the car. Not sure what they did. I'm up in the air. Will I buy another set? Don't know. I'll see how long they go, but yeah. So just a standard set of drawers. Again, tools in there. I've got tubs of tools and tubs of bits and pieces in the drawers. I just chuck them out against the wall of the garage, and I start chucking my camping gear in. This is the recent thing I did. I just put the aluminium plate there on the tailgate. That's just a nice simple way of creating a flat space for cooking on and cleaning on, washing dishes and whatnot. And also I ate off it as well too. Had some lovely lamb chops and veggies last night for tea. It was absolutely beautiful. And in this case, when I'm by myself, I keep it fairly simple. So just have a drawer dedicated to food. Got the chocolate royals there for a cup of tea at night, and just this is my camp box, so that gets all loaded up, and before I put it away I just clean all the dishes and put it all away, and that gets chucked in the garage, and then just obviously I buy some groceries to go in. Your tea and coffee making facilities all go in there, and this is probably just the junk drawer. As you can see, you know, lights and fishing gear, and that's the RV awning. I'll talk about awnings in a minute. When I'm by myself, just bring an esky. Don't need to bring the fridge. Just have, you know, 8 or 10 beers in there, some butter, some cheese and cheese and dip and that sort of stuff if you want that sort of stuff. Again, if I've got more than one person, I'll take the fridge, and we'll chuck a table in here and an extra chair. But apart from that, they have to find where they sleep in the sag, or they find somewhere else to sleep. Or bring the other awning as well too, so if I bring someone else. So yeah, just a set of drawers, and that's basically it. I cook and do all your stuff out here. Got my chair there. Power wise, I've got this kick-ass little power box, so that's why I direct to the battery. No second battery in this. Again, keeping it nice and simple. That's just got an Anderson plug just tucked underneath the rail there, so if I want to unplug that and plug something directly into it, I can. But this has got inlets and outlets, so you can charge a solar panel if you wanted to. But the main thing for me was just to have some power here for when I do bring a fridge. I tie the fridge down onto here, and I can just plug it straight into the end of that power box. The other main reason, well, probably the main reason, is so I've got power for charging devices. I've just got my phone and my navigation tablet charging there, and that just means you turn the car off, the ignition goes off, everything goes dead in the car, so you can't charge off the car, whereas this is wired direct to the battery. As I say, don't do second batteries. If I was going to do a second battery, because I love things to be versatile, I would just chuck a Blue Eddy or a King's second battery there, a slow release battery. What do they call them? Can't remember the name of them now, the technical name. But yeah, I would just bolt something basically in there, or drop it in underneath the panel there. But I certainly wouldn't bother putting another battery under the bonnet. I like the idea of having that versatility, the power bank style versatility, of being able to walk it out and just sort of sit it out where you're sort of sitting with your chair and charge your devices while you use them if you like. So yeah, that's basically it in there. You know, say food, bit of camping gear, fishing gear and whatnot. This is my tub. I'll drop some footage in how I set the bed up. You can see the mattress in there and the bed extender. I'll drop some footage in of how I set that up. So I sleep just in there, just sort of shimmy up onto the tailgate. It's really good. It's a really good place to sleep. You've got lots of ventilation. If you want, you can open both windows, and so you can sort of see in and see out. It's really fantastic in that respect. Even with the windows closed, of course, you can see in and see out, which is really nice when you wake up in the morning and look at how frosty and cold it is, and you just sort of go, no, I'm not getting out of bed yet. So I really like having the windows, as opposed to being in a swag or a tent where you sort of can't see out. There is a little caveat with that. Obviously, you've got no mozzie protection. So if I'm in summer, I'll usually bring my little biker swag, just a tiny little swag it is, sleeping bag in that, and that's got fly-wire mesh in it, and I'll just lay my swag in there and use the mesh of that if I'm worried about mosquitoes, but generally not too bad. I've sort of never felt the need to take it yet, but yeah, there is certain spots up in East Gippsland where you probably would, where you go, nah, I'm going camping in the middle of summer in East Gippsland, I will take my Aussie net, so to speak. And of course you can just put an Aussie net over your face if you like, but it's a bit better if you can sort of take a swag with fly mesh in it or something like that. So yeah, that's basically it, guys. You know, set of drawers inside there, and I'm pretty happy camper. The other thing is, of course, the awning off the back. I've got the ARB quick connects on the awning, so it's 2 nuts and you're done. 2 13mm nuts, so that nut in there, so you just do them up quickly. These are an ARB setup, so they bolt to the rack. They're absolutely brilliant. So it takes you 30 seconds to put your awning on. You have it leaning up in the corner of your garage, and you just take it out and go zip zip with a 13mm spanner. It's a King's 2.5 by 1.4, 1.5 awning. I would have an ARB awning if they made one that size, but they don't, unfortunately. But the King stuff is okay. You just got to be a little bit careful with it. It's no good if it gets real windy. It's got to be packed up, you know. That's just, and if you're expecting, you know, a cold front to come through with 40 or 50 kilometre hour winds, you pack up your King's awning. That's all it is about it, you know. But in this situation, it's fantastic. Work out where your wind's coming from. The wind was coming from this area last night. There was a bit of a front rolled over us with some rain and everything last night, so I put the awning up on that side, or the side curtain up on that side. The King stuff, as I say, pack it up if it's going to be rough, and don't go away from your car for 2 days with it set up. It'll be in pieces when you get back. But for a bit of shade, it rained 2 nights ago. It keeps the rain off the back of the car. It's okay, you know. If it's really going to be foul weather, I've got a June branded RV awning, so it's sort of like an RV tent, so to speak, that goes off the back of the ute, and I'll drop some footage in of that. And that sort of, if it's really disgusting weather, it turns to, and I've got it in the car with me at the moment, if I knew that it was going to be really disgusting for a day or two and I wanted to stay put, I'd probably set that up. And as I say, it's a more of a rough weather sort of carb sort of setup. But you know, unless it's going to be rough, I'll just stick with this. This is nice and simple. So I just Velcro the curtain on, and then I pull it to the rack, pull it nice and tight. They're those quick connects for the awnings. I've got an ARB awning that goes on this side as well too. So yeah, and I just pull it forward with a little Velcro strap there, and that keeps it nice and tight. So quite simple, you know. The King's awnings are really cheap, like really cheap. So, you know, if you do go through a one every couple of years, it's really not a disaster. It's only on this trip I've decided I'm going to cut my my wind deflector, my side curtain down there a little bit, and miles will just cut that bit off the bottom there and put some eyelets so I can just peg it straight to the ground, because this is the sort of setup that I use most of the time. So there you go, guys, that's it. It's, you know, pretty well. I've got a UHF there, but it's pretty soft Ranger. It handles beautifully, it drives beautifully still. I have got some bigger tyres on it with a thicker sidewall, so some 4-wheel drive tyres, but that's pretty well my setup, guys. It's nice and simple, very simple to get out when you're at home and pack away when you do get home, and very simple and quick to set up and pack up. So yeah, so I'm really sort of pretty happy with the way it's set up at the moment, and yeah, I don't see too many changes coming through for now. But anyway, guys, it's a beautiful day. Look at that sunshine out there, absolutely beautiful. But so yeah, I need to get out and do some fishing before it gets too late in the morning, and then we're going to move on to the next spot. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope to see you out on the water, the trails, or maybe even the tracks soon.